Hey, yo, folks, welcome. Let's get updated on the Dan Markel murder. Donna Adelson is number 5 to get charged and put to trial for the murder of Dan Markel. Donna Adelson is the matriarch of the Adelson family, prominent Florida, Miami family with decent bunch of cash. Dan Markel was married to Donna Adelson's daughter. Then one day, Donna Adelson, what's her face? I don't care. She decided to just leave. Maybe she felt abandoned, maybe other reasons. Don't know, don't care. But she took Dan Markel's sons and most of the belongings while Dan was away on a conference. Dan Markel, if you didn't know, was a law professor in Florida. Professor of law. And then a nasty divorce started to happen. And the prosecution have alleged that the Dan Markel murder was all orchestrated by Donna Adelson. And the trial should have started 3 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that, when her lawyer had to disqualify themselves. Why is that? Why, Nick? What on earth could make her lawyers disqualify themselves? Well, she used her son's lawyers, Charlie Adelson's lawyers. And Charlie Adelson was convicted last year, number 4, who was convicted of this murder because he paid for it, according to the jury. And apparently, Donna thought she could use her son's lawyer. And nothing felt especially weird about that. It happens. They waive the conflict of interest and everything. But as it seems, Charlie never waived the conflict of interest. So the day before jury selection in Donna Adelson's trial, they had to disqualify themselves. Judge was not happy about that. Let me tell you that. But let's check in with the Tallahassee Democrats. I don't care about their political association, but they are a great source of information. And they say here, in a bombshell development, the trial of Donna Adelson, accused in the 2014 murder for hire killing of Dan Markel, went off the rails on the first day of jury selection after her lead attorney, Dan Rashbaum of Miami, withdrew over conflict of interest. Rashbaum represented Adelson's son, Charlie Adelson, who was convicted last year on murder charges and sentenced to life in prison. Donna Adelson opted to hire Rashbaum representative despite the fact that her legal needs may be at odds with those of her son, who has an appeal pending with the First District Court of Appeal. After Rashbaum's move Tuesday afternoon, Leon Circuit Judge Stephen Everett announced that the trial would be continued and that prospective jurors would be sent home. I'm not happy, Everett said, but at the same time, we're trying to get this right, so we don't have to do it a second time. Donna didn't take the news well, breaking down and crying in the courtroom. She was still emotional as the bailiff led her out of the courtroom. Her local attorney, Robert Alex Morris, told Everett he was not adequately prepared to continue with the case on his current schedule. And I have to say this, Donna, what did you expect? You allegedly orchestrated all of this. The hitmen in prison for the rest of their life. The woman, Charlie's former girlfriend, who was the middleman in this, life in prison. Charlie, your son, life in prison. And then you tried to leave the country. You tried to leave for, what was it, Thailand? Something like that? You tried to leave everybody behind. But you were caught at the airport. I have a video about that from last year. Did you expect him to be grateful to you, Donna? Seriously, did you expect everything to be howdy doody, bridge under the water? What did you expect? Of course, he was going to screw you over. He has been under the palm of your hand for his entire life, probably done your bidding his entire life, and that got him from a successful dentist, a playboy with women and alcohol and houses and cars, to spending the rest of his life in prison. You did not expect him to sooner or later revolt against you? Of course he screwed you over. Of course he did. I would. Maybe not every person in the world who has this kind of matriarch who controls everything would turn against, even at Charlie's position, but Charlie apparently did. I would assume he does not give two shits on a straw about you, Donna. Not two shits on a straw. Now, during that happening about a month ago, Rashbaum had to resign, but he did. They did say, well, this person can still do it and everything. He just needs to get up to speed, so the trial was stayed. Then this happened. Let's see here. So I get the judge in Donna Adelson murder trial disqualifies her new attorneys over conflicts. Just 3 weeks after Donna Adelson's murder trial unexpectedly unraveled when her lead attorney withdrew, the judge presiding over the case ordered that her two new attorneys can't represent her either. Leon Circuit Judge Stephen Everett on Monday issued an order disqualifying Robert Alex Morris and Adam Commissar over actual and potential conflicts of interest. The order marked another twist in the murder of Dan Markel, the 41-year-old Florida state law professor and father of two, who was fatally shot at his home on July 18, 2014. The two hired killers, an accomplice, and Adelson's son, Donna's son Charlie, have all been convicted of murder charges in the years since. It also likely means further delay in the Donna Adelson trial, as the new lawyers will have to spend time getting up to speed on the evidence. After her trial was postponed last month, the court was eyeing a window between November through early 2025, though even that seemed optimistic. The conflict stemmed from the same unusual situation that derailed Adelson's trial last month. Her initial decision to hire the same lawyer, Dan Rashbaum of Miami, who represented her son last year, to also represent her. Rashbaum withdrew as Adelson's counsel on September 17th, the same day jury selection was set to begin in a trial because of conflicts involving his representation of both mother and son. Morris, who served as co-counsel with Rashbaum, stayed on with Donna Adelson's blessing. However, he filed a motion Monday asking for the court to clarify its ruling on her future counsel. In his order, Everett wrote that a sufficient ethical wall between Rashbaum and Morris, involving privileged communications between Rashbaum and Charlie Adelson, was not established. He also wrote that the case was rife with the potential for the same conflict with Commissar. Quote, without the establishment of a sufficient ethical wall and the fact that even third-party counsel cannot avoid the potential for conflict, the court cannot permit Robert A. Morris or Adam Commissar to remain as counsel of record, nor will the court permit this untenable situation to continue. Everett cancelled the case management scheduled for next week and directed that conflict-free counsel is to file a notice of appearance in the meantime. He set a new case management for December 10th at the Leon County Courthouse. Yeah, Judge Everett does not screw around. If you watch my YSL coverage, you know I have questions about the former judge. Questions, to say the least, about the former judge. In that case, Judge Glanville. And I have some issues with the current one, Judge Whitaker. But this guy, Judge Everett, does not screw around. He wants things done correctly. Morris, in a text message to the Democrat, said Donna Adelson lost 3 lawyers in the span of 3 weeks that she chose and wanted to present her case to a jury. He said the preparation had been, quote, extensive and exhaustive, and that her new lawyers will have, quote, a lot of pieces to pick up in a short period of time. Quote, this is an incredibly difficult circumstance for Mrs. Adelson to endure. Oh, boo-hoo. Our efforts at the moment are going to be to get Mrs. Adelson in the best hands possible in accordance with the order and to provide Mrs. Adelson with the support she needs. Yeah. And it goes on and on and on. I will link to these articles in the section below. But there you have it, folks. Charlie Adelson is, by proxy, screwed his mother over, because why wouldn't he? Her decision, allegedly, to orchestrate a hit on Dan Markel because Dan Markel just wanted to be a good dad. That's all he wanted. He wanted, I believe, 50-50 custody. He through all skimming through the divorce papers, yeah, it was a lot of it, y'all. A lot of it. But all he wanted was access to his kids. He wanted to be a good dad. And the Adelsons couldn't have that. So they had him killed. Charlie Adelson in prison for the rest of his life. Donna Adelson now on trial. Now she might get adequate representation who are conflict free. And then we have to see if Wendy Adelson, the former wife of Dan Markel, is next. All right, folks. Thank you for listening in and on this little update on the Adelson trial, on the Adelson case. I will continue to cover this from time to time with updates and stuff. So, but that's it for today. And remember, folks, hug your family. Unless your family is crap, then screw them and give your love to the people who deserve it. Okay? See you next time. Bye-bye.